It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Sunday, the 12th of October. I'm Michael Groff. Well, as advertised, a widespread moderate to heavy rain event has occurred and is still ongoing over parts of Arizona. Phoenix has entered the record books not just once, but twice. And we've had flood and or flash flooding over northern Arizona and down here in the valley as well. In fact, let's get to that real quick right now. A flash flood warning is still ongoing for parts of the Phoenix metro and surrounding areas, including Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, North Phoenix, and parts of the South and Southeast Valley as well. Chandler, Gilbert, down toward Queen Creek, northern, northwest Pinal County is included in that, and portions of Gila County as well, as we have seen widespread 1 to 3 inch amounts of rain. Some spots have picked up even more than that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the final rainfall totals are, but this is what we have right now, and you can see Sky Harbor Airport, one of the big winners on this graphic. How about that? You don't see that very often. Over 3 inches of rain officially in the bucket. We've had 3 inches toward Gilbert, widespread 1 and 2 inch amounts over much of the valley, and there is still more to come before it's all said and done. Now, most of the precipitation as of the time I'm doing this has shifted off to the south and east of the valley, still some over the far east and southeast valley right now. But later this afternoon and tonight, we'll see another round of precipitation cranking up, similar to what we saw last night and early this morning, with the threat of more locally heavy precipitation, maybe even a strong storm or two along the way as well. So we'll talk about all of that and everything else as we dive on in. First, let's look at the almanac from yesterday. I mentioned Phoenix went into the record books, and there it is, 7/10 of an inch of rain officially at Sky Harbor yesterday. And just to sort of spoiler alert this for you right now, as of the time I'm doing this video, 1.96 inches of rain has fallen today so far at Sky Harbor. And that is a new daily record that just absolutely crushes the old record of 32/100 of an inch set in 1957. So that's going to obviously change these numbers, but we have wiped out the rainfall deficit officially. We are way on the plus side now. I told you sometimes in October we get these events. When it rains, it pours. Remember October 13th of 2018, and of course October 1st, 2nd, 3rd of 2018. Those are two very big rain events that month. We had over 5 inches of rain in October of 2018. So sometimes October can be a real gully washer around here. As for the rest of yesterday, we only made it to 82 degrees for the afternoon high, and we might have a repeat of that today. 68 was the morning low, or 69 was the low. 91 and 68 are the averages for this time of year. 104, that record high from, 2024, of course. Looking outside right now, just after 10 o'clock, clouds out there. Still a few showers in the far southeast valley, but mainly the rain has ended. 70 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points also at 70, so that humidity 100%. Wind for the east at 7. The barometer is rising. All right, let's take a look at the current radar across the area. And again, most of the rain has shifted to the south and east of the valley. It's kind of moving southwest to northeast. We're seeing the training of echoes. And so for southwest Maricopa County up toward northwest and northern Pinal, eastern Maricopa, and Gila counties, and points to the north and east of there. Very heavy rain will be ongoing for the next several hours. We will continue to see the threat of flood and flash flooding down there. Here in the valley, of course, the washes are going to be running because we've had so much rainfall up to the north. The river systems are going to be flowing for quite a while. And of course, as you know, in Phoenix, our roadways, they're not generally designed for 1 to 3 inches of rain or more. So we're going to have ponding of water on the roadways for probably the foreseeable future as before things start to dry out around here in the next couple of days. All right, satellite picture shows you what's going on. Of course, the remnants from Priscilla are long gone, but now we have the next feature on the board, and that's Raymond. Sort of the leftovers of that are moving up toward southern and southeast Arizona. So that will give us another push of dynamic support and moisture for continued showers and thunderstorms, mainly over the eastern half of Arizona. And that should include Phoenix later this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow, and then things will clear out pretty quickly by the time we get toward Tuesday. Incidentally, Flagstaff picked up record rainfall yesterday. Actually on Friday, and had more rain yesterday, nearly a record yesterday. So they've had well over 2.5 inches of rain. Same for Winslow, and up around the Happy Jack area, they've had 4 to 5 inches of rain. So again, this has been a substantial rain event, and I know some people in the comments wanted to call it a dud, but I guess a few spots, of course, over western Arizona did not pick up as much rain, about 1/4 inch down toward Yuma. Some spots in southwest Arizona, maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, and in southeast Arizona, they haven't had the bulk of the precipitation yet, but it will be picking up later today and tonight, as well as Monday. So here's that watch warning map. Now, relevant to us, of course, still, the flood watch is in effect through midnight tonight. The flood watch for southeast Arizona, including Tucson, Marana, Nogales, Douglas, Bisbee, Sierra Vista, Safford, Wilcox. You've got that flood watch until 5 p.m. tomorrow, again, as the remnants from Raymond continue down there. Yeah, we should see some fairly significant precipitation. So by no means is this event over with for at least southern, south central, southeast, east central Arizona. This will continue. And some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are still possible elsewhere. Convective outlook for today, a marginal risk of severe storms, level 1 out of 5 for southern Arizona, Phoenix, Tucson, Nogales, Casa Grande, even Gila Bend in on that. And even though I don't think we're going to see much, the atmosphere is pretty contaminated. It's going to take a lot for that to turn over this afternoon. We do have plenty of dynamics still through the atmosphere, so some pop-up storms are possible later today and tonight. And with those shear values being elevated in the atmosphere, it doesn't take a lot of CAPE. This is one of those high shear, low CAPE kind of setups that we have over Arizona, where we could still see some showers and thunderstorms, and some of those storms could produce some gusty winds. We saw that up around New River this morning with some $half sized hail and winds that gusted over 50 to 60 miles per hour. All right, let's keep it going here. The precipitation outlook, this is valid through next Sunday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts in Phoenix, yeah, we could still pick up an inch. This includes some of the rain we've had this morning, but I still think some more localized significant precipitation is possible. Now, over southeast Arizona, 1 to 2 inches or more possible. And again, the southeastern corner of the state likely to get hit the hardest. So again, for our friends that watch us down there toward Bisbee and Douglas, and maybe even Sierra Vista, and that southeastern corner of our state, that's where we could see the most significant precipitation for the next day and a half. So what's going on with this weather pattern in more detail? To figure that out right now, let's explore the models, see what's going on. This is it, the GFS, the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. All right, troughing over the eastern and southeastern part of the country. We've got a big trough out here, and that's helped to really energize the atmosphere here and act on that rich tropical moisture, unprecedented levels of tropical moisture over the southwest for this time of year. So what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, how about it? Showers and thunderstorms this morning, but they've pretty much ended for the valley, but they have shifted just to the south and east of us. So northern Pinal County, Gila County, and that's going to continue to shift a little bit further to the south and east. The training of echoes from southern Maricopa through much of central and northern Pinal County, Gila County, into parts of Navajo, Apache County. We're going to see that for much of the rest of the daytime hours today, with scattered showers and thunderstorms becoming more numerous over the southeastern portion of the state today. Again, from Nogales up to Tucson and Safford, you'll see your fair share of storms later too. High temperatures in Phoenix today. Again, this is a tough forecast. I think we'll make it up into at least the low 80s. When I initially wrote this forecast, again, we were going 85 to 90, kind of like yesterday. We've trimmed that back a little bit. I think we could still sneak up into the lower mid 80s now that the sun is starting to come out. It's really going to depend on where you are in the valley, but it's going to be very, very muggy again today. For tonight, well, let's show you this first. This is the HRRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh. This is one of our high resolution models. This is at 5 p.m. this afternoon. And at that time, again, most of the activity over southeast Arizona, but a few storms popping back up across the south central deserts just to the south of the valley. Radar won't look exactly like this, but we do expect at least some storm activity to reform later today, but I think mostly tonight and into the early morning hours tomorrow. And I'm going to show you why here. but lows tonight should generally be in the mid 60s to low 70s. But let's look at a forecast sounding. This is coming off of the HRRR. This is this evening at 7 o'clock. And if this is correct, we've got all the ingredients still on the board for some showers and thunderstorms here. Let's kind of run through this. Cape values are still elevated. Generally in the 800 to 2,000 joules per kilogram, depending on the hour of the sounding here, but that's still significant. We have high mixing ratios, especially for this time of the year and for this kind of an event, still anywhere from 11 to 14 grams per kilogram. But what I'm really interested in is look at that cloud layer shear. My goodness, 96 knots. That is extremely elevated. Even the bulk shear, 40 to 45 knots here. It's at times approaching 50 knots across southern Arizona, including the valley. So we have winds screaming through the atmosphere, especially in the cloud-bearing layer. And when we see that, any sort of updraft that occurs will be rapidly accelerated into that dry air that we have up around the 500 millibar level, up about 15, 17, 18,000 feet, 20,000 plus feet. And that'll help to rapidly accelerate that, much as we saw in the overnight hours. So those showers and storms fire up. They produce some very heavy rain, and a few storms could produce some small hail. You see the possible hazard type on this is marginal severe. And I think that is still possible. A couple of severe storms can't be ruled out, but mostly the concern is continued heavy rain. And really, it's not going to take a lot of heavy rain to produce more flooding around here, given the ground is already very saturated from the precipitation that we've already had. So some interesting stuff for sure. Now let's go to tomorrow. Still scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible. We've got about a 40% chance in the forecast. Now they will be more hit and miss tomorrow, but where they do occur, still some locally heavy rain is possible. The bulk of the precipitation, again, should stay just to the south and east of us, but we can't rule out some storms here in the valley. As for northern Arizona, only some widely scattered storms will be possible for the day on Monday, as much of the moisture and dynamic support will be further to the south of you, but you could still pick up some storms up around Flagstaff and Winslow over toward Show Low. The chance of rain is still decent over there. All right, and high temperatures tomorrow. Again, we're going to bump those back up a little bit. I think probably mid-80s looks reasonable here. But by the time we get to Tuesday, we're going to start to dry out, and we'll dry out pretty quickly. But notice, troughing is hanging to our west, and that's going to be a dominant feature for us through most of this week. Negative height anomalies, troughing to the west, high temperatures only in about the mid, maybe upper 80s in the warmest desert spots on Tuesday, but certainly not going to get any warmer than that. And as we go to Wednesday, the trough is going to kind of push a little further east, so we should see somewhat cooler air coming in here. The height falls highs, how about mid 70s to low 80s in the deserts on Wednesday? I mean, that's going to feel incredible. Finally, the break in the heat that we've been wanting around here. And that's going to set the stage Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Lows will be down in the 50s, pretty much valley-wide. I love that. That feels incredible. 50s for lows, mid 70s to about 80 degrees for the high on Thursday and Friday. Beautiful weather. There's a chance we don't even make 80 degrees in the valley on Thursday. I think that might be the coolest day. Friday, we could sneak back to the low 80s. Let's keep it going. This is Saturday. Now, ridging is going to build over Texas and try to expand toward the southwest. Troughing will remain to the west, southwesterly flow, so we're dry. High temperatures may get back to the low and mid 80s here. But still, that's slightly below average. So can't really complain about that. And with the dry air and the longer nights that we have now in the month of October, the lower sun angle, you know, once that sun goes down, I mean, my goodness, it cools off very quickly. So it'll feel beautiful through the rest of this week. Now, here is a week from today. This is Sunday, the 19th. And again, high pressure sits off to the east of us, nosing up into the plain states, troughing to the north and west. Southwesterly flow here. Temperatures probably in the mid 80s, maybe upper 80s for the warmest desert spots. But that warm-up doesn't last long because here's Monday, the 20th. We've got a negative tilt trough to the north and west of us. I suppose there could be a few showers and storms maybe up along the northern border or parts of northern Arizona in that kind of a setup. But there's just not any moisture down here at that point, so I don't think we're going to see any precipitation. But that would, of course, bring us another round of breezy and cooler temperatures. So that'll be nice. Here's the end of the forecast period, Tuesday, the 21st. Another trough just dropping on in here and sitting to the north and west of us. And that eventually could bring some unsettled weather. It's hard to say how that's going to play out, but the wave train's going here, so temperatures are not going to warm up to any substantial degree. And are we done with 90-degree temperatures for the rest of the year? I think not. I'm just not ready to say that. But we're not going to see any signs of any major warm-up. Again, a brief warm-up, and we could get closer to 90, maybe the upper 80s by next weekend briefly. But no sign of any major heat coming our way, at least. Not for a while. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix, this goes out through the 26th of October off the GFS ensemble. This counts some of the rain we've had this morning, about 0.6 of an inch or so. Euro AI, which, as some of our viewers are going to note, absolutely crushed this forecast. Ding, ding, ding. The Euro AI and the ensemble here was the big winner on this forecast. Now, this counts, again, when this was issued or when this was run, some of the rain that fell this morning hadn't fallen yet. So, yeah, it's pretty much nailed it. Hats off to the Euro AI and the Euro AI ensemble for having this nailed days and days in advance. And I know some people called that an outlier. Even I was like, well, I don't know. But I did say, could we see that kind of rain here? Yes, some spots will no doubt see that. And one of the spots that saw it, of course, is where the official rain for Phoenix is taken, and that's at Sky Harbor Airport. And really across much of the valley, very beneficial rains fell. Although not everybody got a substantial amount of rain, but hey, take what we can get. Looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. Again, how about 79 degrees for the high on Thursday? That sounds delightful. Lows in the 60s, and that's at Sky Harbor. Most areas are going to be down in the 50s many mornings this week, especially, I would say, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning. That is open up your doors and windows, turn off the AC at night. Even those daytimes, yeah, the AC might kick on briefly midday and afternoon hours, especially here at Studio B, with the 2 stories. But still, that looks tremendous. Can't beat that. At least not until November and December, and that's my time of the year. That's when temperatures are really in my comfort zone. 40s for lows, 60s for highs. Gorgeous. We're heading there. All right. That's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions if you really enjoy what we do here and you want to support the channel. Click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make that contribution to us that way or via PayPal. Groff Show at gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's GROFF show at gmail.com for PayPal. And our Venmo is also linked up down in the description, and it scrolls by at times down there on the bottom there on the display, Michael-Groff-37. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. That's why I don't say it. I just say, hey, you want to use Venmo? It's linked up down in the description. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of SweetChildAZ.com. .org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, of which there are a many, videos, and everything Michelle related, probably Kylie and Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description below, as well as is our streaming station, available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a lot of music. We have a lot of fun over there, so give that a listen as well. One other thing I want you to check out is Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files on YouTube, or courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. Dan's got a great channel. He puts out, I don't know, like 11 to 8 million videos every day. It's nonstop with Dan. I don't know what he's even doing. So just check him out because I can't even do it justice, the kind of content that he does. And you'll be entertained for how many hours of content does he have over there? Like thousands and thousands. So you'll love it. Especially on rainy days like this, sit back, watch some of the courtroom file stuff after you watch this video, and you will not be disappointed. Maybe have some potato bacon soup. Sounds great. I don't know. Soup on a day like this sounds good. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It has been amazing. You guys have really just stepped it up, and I cannot thank you enough. There's just no words for it, folks. I am gratified by your giving me your time and your support. It has been fantastic. So keep it up, and I want you guys to be safe out there, especially with these flooded roadways that we have across parts of the valley. Be safe, enjoy the rain where you can find it, and have yourselves a glorious rest of your Sunday.